Nigeria's enchanting health reforms blueprint catches international attention. Non-alignment with established financial management standards. House of Representatives discloses more than 300 billion naira remains unaccounted for. Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria takes entrepreneurship training to Katsina State. Hello and welcome to the news at 3 on NTA News 24. We're reaching you live from Abuja. I am Stella in Amity. Now, the Ondo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has dismissed 2 out of the 4 petitions before it. The 2 petitions were dismissed for lacking in merit. Joining us live from Akure is Paul Omukago. Hello, Paul. What is the latest?
Good afternoon, Stella. As the latest from the Ondo State High Court, the premises where the tribunal is sitting, is that the tribunal, under the chairmanship of Justice Benson Ogbo, is already deciding on the petition brought by the Social Democratic Party. Meanwhile, the 2 other petitions brought in by the Action Alliance and the All People's Allied People's Movement have been dismissed for lacking in merit. That of the AA particularly has to do with the fact that they did not have a candidate for the November 16, 2024 election, and also they also brought up an issue that does not tally with the current sitting of the tribunal, since it has to do with a pre-election issue. And it was dismissed because they don't have the jurisdiction to entertain pre-election matters, and they don't have a candidate for the said election. While that of the All People's Allied People's Movement, APM, was also dismissed for lacking in merit, particularly as they were unable to prove the issues they raised concerning malpractice, corrupt practices, overvoting, and other issues they brought before the tribunal. And most likely, the one that they already deciding on may go the same way, going by what they have said so far.
Okay, thank you, Paul, for the update. And now moving on. From the Center of Excellence, talking about Lagos State, where the federal government's efforts in the health is gaining more support, as the Gates Foundation says Nigeria will remain prominent in its humanitarian programs, particularly as it targets to end malaria in the country within the next 20 years. Co-founder of Microsoft and co-chair of the Gates Foundation, Bill Gates, made new commitments after President Bola Tinubu conferred a national honor of Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic on him in Lagos. State House correspondent Musbah Dan Wahab reports.
The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, was instrumental to opening the gates in 2009, and since then, this philanthropist has been footing some bills in Nigeria. Under an administration striving to drastically turn around the health and social welfare sector, the relationship of about 16 years was going to get bigger. In those past years, the Gates Foundation has reportedly contributed about $2 billion in Nigeria's health, digital innovation, agriculture, and financial inclusion. In the country's journey towards eradicating wild poliovirus, the Gates Foundation was equally a huge partner. And this is President Tinubu's way of saying thank you to the man that has opened his philanthropic gates to pay humanitarian bills in the country for close to 2 decades. Bill Gates is now a commander of the Order of the Federal Republic in Nigeria.
All I need to say is thank you, Bill Gates, for your indivisible commitment to humanity. It is highly remarkable. It's an inspiration to leadership across the world, including the one standing before you. I thank you very much.
And even as he acknowledged dwindling resources in support of AIDS across the world, Gates is hoping to invest $200 billion more globally in various sectors in the next 20 years. In addition to health, he says digital innovation and capacity development of youth in Nigeria are part of his plan.
I'm totally dedicated over the next 20 years to finishing the job, whether it's building up the data systems, getting the vaccines out to all the children, getting solutions for malnutrition that not only is responsible for a lot of deaths, but also cuts off the potential of the children who suffer from malnutrition. Some of our goals may seem very ambitious. For example, during the next 20 years, we do hope to completely eradicate malaria. And
20 years is very conservative, but we work very, very hard. I'm the malaria ambassador, and then both me and Bill were members of the Malaria Global Board. So we are working very, very hard, and I'm sure there will be, a headway where we'll achieve this less than 20 years.
The President's leadership, his political commitment to really provide those resources. If all the state governors provide more resources to treat malaria, to provide the drugs, to provide bed nets, to do the campaigns, I think Nigeria will see a lot of progress.
The government of President Tinubu says it will continue to leverage global and domestic partnerships in developing sectors of the economy. In Lagos, Musbau and Wahab, NT News.
And back in Abuja, where the House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts says more than 300 billion naira of public expenditure remains unaccounted for across 60 ministries, departments and agencies of government that have not yet aligned to established financial management standards. Chairman of the committee, Bamidele Salam, disclosed this at a press briefing ahead of a national conference on public accounts and fiscal governance expected to chart a new course for transparency and sustainable development.
It is expected that at the end of the conference, we'll have very significant reduction in violations of financial regulations and laws, as well as deepen our transparent system in public procurement and expenditure at all levels. There are quite a lot of gaps. But like I've said, we should also realize that there are movements towards closing those gaps. And one of the movements towards closing the gaps is in the area of reform. So regardless of what you say, there will never be anything again like a fuel subsidy scam in Nigeria. Because the source of that scam has been taken away. There is even no subsidy again. So when you close some of those gaps, you also achieve a certain degree of reducing, the propensity of people to, do all manner of things untoward with public resources.
The committee is advocating harmonization of national and subnational laws to integrate modern anti-corruption technologies in financial regulations and institute transparency and accountability as core national values. The federal government's poverty reduction initiative is taking a significant step towards youth empowerment in Katsina State. The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, is conducting a 5-day entrepreneurship training for 60 young entrepreneurs under the National Business Skills Development Program. Our Haliru reports.
The training, which focuses on financial literacy and skills development, is to equip participants with the necessary tools to enhance their businesses and create jobs. Upon completion, participants will receive starter packs and equipment to boost their entrepreneurship ventures.
I'm into ICT and it will help me boost my businesses as well.
The program is part of SMEDAN's effort to reduce poverty and promote economic growth in Nigeria.
At the end of the day, we are going to reduce the level of poverty across the states. In total, 2,220 direct jobs will be created across all the states.
We are grateful with this kind of program brought to Katsina State, which will at least create more jobs.
With over 16,000 beneficiaries nationwide, the initiative has made a significant impact in empowering small and medium-scale enterprises.
From all the equipment we give to them, you find people coming to tell us that initially they have only one machine, now they have up to 2.
The National Business Skills Development Program has 3 key components: entrepreneurship, vocational skills, and empowerment training. These components are designed to contribute to the federal government's poverty reduction agenda and promote economic development in the country. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
The devastating flood in Mokwa, Niger State, has so far left 160 people dead and 84 missing, with 267 houses destroyed, displacing hundreds of residents. This was revealed by a guest on Good Morning Nigeria who called for strict enforcement of building regulations, as they also blamed poor planning and illegal structures for the high casualties. Thomas Ubetere reports.
Over the years, Nigeria has witnessed a series of devastating flooding incidents, resulting in widespread property damage, loss of lives, injuries, and mass displacement. Despite numerous cases already recorded, the numbers continue to rise. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria stressed the importance of stopping the construction of buildings on waterways and flood-prone areas.
When a thing is mentioned like floodplain, it means the plain belongs to flood. A riverbed, river valley, it belongs to the river. So please, if you intend to reside there, try to study the character of the river. If you want to withstand it, you want to carry the water problem, okay, but study it first and know what might happen when you reside there.
We call it downscaling, sensitizing up to communities, families, individuals, telling them what actions they should take, what they should start doing.
Now we have massive reconstruction of roads and drainages and expansion of these drainages to reduce or to take away completely the flooding, the flash flooding we have. Mokwa is also going through the same process. So
the guest urged government, especially states, to implement all safety measures and to ensure strict supervision of structures.
You put technology, innovation together with their local mitigating strategies we put together. That's what the communication risk, the second document. Now the third document is how to mitigation and an adaptation strategy.
It was noted that both state authorities and residents must take flood forecast seriously. In Abuja, Thomas Ubetere, NTA News.
You're watching the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We'll take a short break now. I will be back with more news. Stay with us.
I am pleased to announce encouraging news from the National Bureau of Statistics, which released the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, for April 2025 According to the report, the headline inflation rate for April stood at 23.71%, this represents a decrease of 0.52% from the 24.23% recorded in March 2025. Similarly, month-on-month inflation dropped by a notable 2.04%, from 3.90% in March to 1.86% in April. This, of course, did not just happen by chance. The President is focused and is determined, and his determination and his interventions are clearly paying off. The benefits of reform, though gradual, are real and measurable.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, is appealing to well-meaning citizens and organizations to lend their support to the victims of the recent Mokwa flood in Niger State, which has claimed the lives of over 150 people. In a statement, the minister emphasized that the survivors of the disaster are enduring challenging times and require sympathy and assistance from all quarters. Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi has also complimented the state government and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, for providing food items to hundreds of families affected by the flash floods. He also expressed his gratitude to the federal government and President Bola Tinubu for his compassionate message and directives to relevant agencies to provide relief to the affected communities. There is evidence that these efforts are underway, and it is encouraging to know that those most severely impacted by the disaster are directly receiving support. Additionally, the minister extended his heartfelt sympathy to Governor Muhammad Umar Bago, who, as the Chief Executive of Niger State, must shoulder the immense responsibility of navigating the aftermath and stabilizing the traumatized communities. In the meantime, the Risk Managers Society of Nigeria has extended its sympathy to the government and people of Niger State and other affected victims in different parts of the country. Consequently, its president, Dr. Abbas Idris, has identified heavy rainfall, poor drainage systems, deforestation and land use change, soil erosion, river overflows and climate change as major causes of flooding in the state. The society has therefore recommended early warning systems, reforestation programs, community education, land use planning, emergency response plans, collaboration with NGOs. And to tackle the perennial challenge of building collapse and other engineering problems in Nigeria, the Nigerian Society of Engineers has commenced training of its members in the use of data analytics and digital transformation to provide solutions in the field. NSE President Margaret Oguntala, at an event to mark the completion of specialized professional development training for young and senior engineers, says the NSE is committed to building capacity of its members to compete globally. Ekene Ndulwe reports.
In recent times, building collapse and other infrastructure failure remain recurrent in Nigeria. However, the integration of artificial intelligence and advanced technology offers a transformative solution. Through real-time structural monitoring systems powered by AI, engineers can predict and prevent failures before they occur. Sounds like a tall order, but seemingly, that and other engineering solutions is the target of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. To drive this innovation, NSE has completed training for the first set of 117 young and senior engineers on the use of data and digital transformations.
As far as the industry is concerned, once we have greater knowledge of the Internet of Things, of artificial intelligence, and all that, we'll be able to deal more with the perennial issues, whatever issues there are, whether it's building collapse or dam or any collapse of any kind of infrastructure for that matter, even in the power sector.
For these engineers, the training goes beyond mere certification.
This training has injected a lot of current knowledge on the digital space into Nigerian engineers who participated.
I look forward to developing systems that can streamline construction processes and also reduce the major problems we faced on construction sites.
NSE says it is also driving the innovations down to the school levels and has announced it is commencing the Nigerian National Engineering Olympiads for Nigerian universities. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sanunu, has received membership of the Civil Society Action to Strengthen Social Protection in Nigeria, a project co-funded by the European Union and implemented by a consortium comprising the African Network for Environment and Economic Justice. The new initiative for social development and bread for the world, Germany. The project is being implemented at the national level and in 7 states: Borno, Enugu, Delta, Kogi, Ondo, Ekiti, and Osun. The project, rooted in the understanding that social protection is one of the most vital tools for reducing poverty, addresses inequality, and promotes social justice. The project is designed to complement the government's efforts in combating poverty, with a primary objective of enhancing the inclusivity of Nigeria's social protection system. It also aims to foster stronger engagement of civil society actors in the development, implementation, and monitoring of these systems. The delegation visited the minister to explore areas of partnership, particularly in advancing inclusive and effective social protection initiatives across the country. And to politics now, the national woman leader of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, Mary Alile, is urging women to take advantage of the enabling ground the President Bola Tinubu-led administration has laid to increase women participation in politics and seek elective positions in future elections. Mary Alile gave this advice when a delegation of women from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, paid her a courtesy visit at the APC Secretariat, seeking a level playing ground in the party's primaries ahead of the upcoming FCT Council elections coming up in February 2026.
So Mr. President's leadership inspires hope for all of us, inclusivity for all of us. As individuals, as party women, we are hopeful. On behalf of the courageous women that have come out, that we should allow talented and capable women to represent our party and others.
The National Woman Leader says the impact of the renewed hope agenda of the President and initiative of the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu on women, youth, and the vulnerable across the country is demonstration of the current administration's desire for inclusivity and preparing a formidable ground for women to flourish. The journey towards national security and lasting peace is neither straight nor easy, as it is marked by steep climbs, uneven terrains, and unforeseen obstacles. But through perseverance, discipline, dedication, resilience, ultimately victory is certain. Those were the lines of the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, to personnel at the second quarter route match in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
Putting the horse before the cart is what the Nigerian Air Force adopted for the second quarter route march through medical checkup for the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, and other personnel. It was more than a march. It was a show of force, clear evidence that the Nigerian Air Force remained a formidable guardian of the skies and the land. Dressed in combat fatigues, the personnel marched with purpose, their eyes sharp and posture unwavering. Each step they took symbolized resilience, unity and readiness to defend the country at all costs. At the reviewing stand stood the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, his eyes scanning the formation with pride. When the troops came to a halt, he stepped forward to address them.
Rest assured that your protection is not just an obligation, it is our highest priority. To the enemies of our nation, insurgents, terrorists, bandits, and all who seek to disrupt our peace, know this: there will be no hiding place for those who threaten the peace and stability of Nigeria. We'll find you and we'll take you out.
The route march had ended, but the mission was far from over. The skies remained theirs, and so did the duty to protect every inch of the nation beneath them. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And that concludes the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Stella Inamiti.